Jon Jones lost his patience and fired back at Magomed Ankalaev, who posted a mocking comment about Jones's use of steroids. Jones also issued a warning to Stipe Miocic after the former champ took shots at him in the UFC 309 promotion. Meanwhile, top MMA personalities weighed in on Jones's public refusal to fight Tom Aspinall, with some even saying that the linear champ should be stripped of his title for dodging the interim champion. First, here's the strong message Jon Jones had for Magomed Ankalaev after the Russian mocked him for steroid use, as well as what Jones said to Stipe Miocic after the former champion insulted him in the UFC 309 promotion. Hiring black fighters to mimic me will not help you, Stipe. And you shouldn't have called me a bitch. The disrespect wasn't necessary. Let's play. Magomed, jealousy won't earn you legend status, my friend. Train harder, hate less. Want to truly insult me? Break some of my records first. Let's get started. Jon Jones also took to social media to respond to various haters and fired back at those criticizing him, saying that the people dishing out criticism are new MMA fans, and Jones has been shutting down doubters long before these same fans even had a cell phone. If he becomes the best of all time, then calling me a duck would make sense. Right now? Way too early. My challenge to him, build a career like mine. Winning 5? Hard enough. 17? I seriously doubt it. I get that a lot of you guys are new fans, but I've been silencing doubters before most of you had cell phones. I know it's hard for a lot of you guys to grasp, but based on his resume today, fighting and beating him would change nothing about my legacy. I would literally be in the same position I am now. The GOAT. Its true success comes with its perks and its shadows. In person, the love is genuine, but online, it's a different story. It's wild how narratives seem to appear out of thin air. Stipe and I have been set to fight for ages, even before the interim title bout. Some of y'all just run with stories you wish were real. Guess being number one has its costs, real support face-to-face, but a showcase of insecurities from afar. Human nature never fails to keep things interesting. It's an honor to be so desired. I'm over here as one of the most successful fighters in MMA history listening to grade school insults. I'm gonna miss this one day. I love talking MMA with you guys. Hope y'all have a great night. Michael Bisping was one of those who spoke out publicly about Jon Jones refusing the potential fight with Tom Aspinall, siding with Tom and even saying that Jones should have his heavyweight title stripped if he keeps avoiding the interim champ. Here's what Bisping had to say. The reality is that Jon Jones is now the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and if he fights Stipe Miocic, and if he is victorious, he has to face Tom Aspinall next. This is just the way that the world works. If he doesn't, this is, in the words of Khabib Nurmagomedov, number one bull ***. I'm telling you right now, it is number one bull ***. If he refuses to fight Tom Aspinall next, then we've got to start having a serious conversation as to whether or not this man should be stripped. They should face one another next, but he's calling out Alex Pereira for a legacy fight. What I'm saying sounds crazy, and I'm not saying this as a Jon Jones hater, but if this was boxing, then Jon Jones would be stripped of his title, and that's a fact. Alexander Usyk fought Tyson Fury for the undisputed belts. Usyk won and was undisputed champion, but guess what? The mandatory IBF challenger was Filip Hrgovic, but because he's going to rematch Tyson Fury, he was stripped of the IBF title. And this should be the same thing. It's not a good look when you're a champion and there's an undisputed interim champion that you're saying you will not fight, and you're calling out the champion from the weight class below. It's just not a good look. I'm not saying Jon Jones should be stripped, but there needs to be a very serious conversation about it. Bisping didn't stop there, adding that everyone's talking as if Jon Jones has already beaten Stipe Miocic. But Bisping warned that people ignoring Miocic, the greatest heavyweight in UFC history, could motivate him even more, making him even more dangerous in this fight with Jones. I'm telling you right now, everyone's overlooking Stipe Miocic, and these people are absolutely out of their minds. This guy is a massive underdog. He is being overlooked, disrespected, completely forgotten about in the heavyweight division, and this man has an opportunity to go out there and shock the entire world, beat Jon Jones, and become the undisputed heavyweight champion. People are underestimating Stipe Miocic, and why is that? It's because the last time we saw Stipe Miocic was when he went up against Francis Ngannou. That fight ended with a brutal punch, a vicious knockout. People forget that Stipe, on paper, is the greatest heavyweight to ever fight in the UFC's octagon. He defended the belt 3 times, which is something nobody else has ever done. This man feels disrespected. He feels overlooked. He knows the entire world is talking about Jon Jones. Will he or won't he fight Tom Aspinall, the interim champ? Don't tell me that doesn't piss you off. When you're somebody like Stipe Miocic, a proud man, a very capable man, a former champion, a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, and people are just overlooking you? Jesus Christ, that is a powerful motivator. Daniel Cormier also spoke out about the Jones-Aspinall debate, saying he truly doesn't believe Jones is afraid of Aspinall. But he thinks Jones would rather fight Alex Pereira because it's an easier fight for the heavyweight champ, and that way, Jones has a better shot at retiring undefeated. Jon Jones isn't afraid of Tom Aspinall. I wish people would stop saying that. He is not afraid of that guy. He's not afraid of anyone. He's not afraid to fight this guy. He's not. I think he's trying to be more strategic. I think he's trying to make sure his legacy stands. I don't know how it could ever be faded. I mean, we do have short memories, but could you ever forget what he did? I don't think fighting Tom Aspinall with the potential that he would lose is a bad thing. But as most would expect him to win the fight. Yes, financially it would make sense, fight Pereira instead. It would also be much less risky because of that glaring hole in the matchup. I don't know if Alex Pereira can defend takedowns against the best guys. He's wrestling Glover Teixeira. I'm sure Glover's teaching him how to defend takedowns. I'm sure Glover, who's a tremendous wrestler himself, has him prepared, but I don't know how he will do in live action against a truly elite high-level wrestler. Because Jan Blachowicz isn't, and he was able to take him down effectively. So yeah, Jon would prefer that matchup because it's much less risky than fighting Tom Aspinall. Financially, he does have a point. That is the biggest money fight for him with the less risk because people now know Pereira. Cormier also defended Tom Aspinall, saying that in other sports, it's normal for the younger generation to beat the legends to build their legacy, so he doesn't think Aspinall is wrong for going after this fight with Jones. Mauricio Shogun had to fight Jon Jones back in the day. Rampage Jackson had to fight Jon Jones back in the day. Those guys were big names that fought him as the young guy that was a champion, and he made a name off of all those legends. So that by the time that I got to him, he was a legend. Already in 2015, 2016, he was already a legend in fighting years, but that was only because he had beaten all those great guys before. It really is the tale of sport, right? The tale of entertainment. Before Michael Jordan could be Michael Jordan, he had to go through the Detroit Pistons, who were winning in the 80s. He had to beat the Boston Celtics to get to the finals, who were going back and forth with the Lakers. The old guard has to get passed through for the new guard to happen. So for Jon to say he's a nobody, but is he really? He's the world champ. Honestly, that's who he is. He is the number 2 heavyweight in the world. He's the interim champ. He's not a guy that's just working his way through the division. This is a guy that's smashed the division. I don't think he's scared. Is there a worry that he could lose that match? As I read his comments, it sounds more and more like it. But he's not because of fear. He doesn't really feel like the juice is worth the squeeze. So folks, Jon Jones is definitely the talk of the week, getting hammered on social media for dodging the fight with Tom Aspinall. But what do you think? Do you believe Tom Aspinall really stands a chance at beating Jon Jones, as thousands of fans are saying? Or do you think there's no one right now who could beat the champ? Drop your opinion in the comments so we can chat about it. If you're a true MMA fan and want to stay updated on everything happening in the fight world, be sure to check out these other 2 videos on the screen. These videos are a must-see, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them and stay well informed on the latest MMA news. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe and leave a like to help support the content. Thanks, and see you next time.